In the daily newspaper La Época, the Epic, published in 1898 on the 6th of June, it was reported the burglary took place in the morning. It's documented in paragraph 2 of the newspaper section, Sucesos, happenings. And this was at the Manuel Ramirez shop. I would expect that Domingo Esteso, Santos Hernandez, and Modesto Borreguero were all working there, learning their craft. The next day in the daily newspaper El Imparcial, on June 7, 1898, it has the total amount of details become known in an article called Ladrones Philharmonicos, Philharmonic Thieves. Recovered were 2 new guitars, 1 bandoria, a magnificent ornate laúd, 16 pairs of castanets, another 5 pairs of castanets in the possession of another individual, and 2 guitars were in the possession of a 19-year-old, and his 54-year-old father was involved, and they also got these guys with the burglary tools in their possession. The ornate laúd was found in a tavern on Calle Toledo. At this point, Manuel Ramirez's shop was at Calle Arlaban 10. And that laúd had been taken by the woman that was involved. Also, the next day in the daily newspaper, El Siglo Futuro, the future century, June 7th, 1898, the same text was offered, but in a single column with the mention of 3 suspects. The well-known photo shown on my website, which you can read all this text and look at the close-up of the Spanish language texts. It's got the names of the people I don't need to mention. The well-known photo shown here is of the shop across from the previous one where the burglary took place. This location is the one where Andres Segovia walked into in 1912 to rent a guitar, that being at Arlaban 11. The location where the burglary took place was Arlaban 10, and that was demolished in 1911. In the magazine that was published 3 times a month, Fidelio, on January 1st, 1903, there was an advertisement by Manuel Ramirez stating he was the only violin maker in Madrid, that he was selling guitars, bandurias, laúds, and that he offered high-quality guaranteed restorations of any instrument. The address in the ad is the same ad as where the burglary took place. The ad was adjacent to one by Enrique Roman's Papel, being the son-in-law of Francisco Gonzalez, who taught Jose Ramirez his lutherie skills, who then in turn taught his younger brother Manuel Ramirez, who learned much faster. Enrique Roman's Papel took over the business of his father-in-law after his passing, having studied with the award-winning luthier for over a decade. Those guitars, I sold one a year ago, March of 2021, and it's Hijos de Gonzalez. Before 1900, it would have Año 18 printed and then handwritten for the other remaining part of the date. The post-1900 labels for Hijos de Gonzalez do not have any year written below the border on that label. In the El Heraldo de Madrid, the Herald of Madrid, or the Madrid Herald as we would translate it to, in very easy to understand English, it explains when Manuel moved his workshop from Arlaban 10 to Arlaban 11 in Madrid. In the weekly magazine Mundo Gráfico, On January 15, 1913, was an ad for Manuel Ramirez, luthier del Conservatorio, the luthier to the Conservatory of Music in Madrid. He continued to use that same ad for 2 months in that weekly magazine. In the magazine Revista Musical Americana, Revista Musical Hispano-Americana, in April 1914, he had an advertisement showing a violin and mentioning he carried the best brand of violin strings, Excelsior and Ruffini. In the La Correspondencia de España on February 21st, 1917, is a mentioning of the condolences on the first anniversary of Manuel Ramirez's passing in February of 1916.